Every unbreakable NFL record explained in 16 minutes. I'm lucky addicted to these informational videos. I don't know if the Chargers have a record that's unbreakable other than us choking a lot of games, probably.
7. On the surface, 7 touchdowns in one game doesn't sound that crazy. In an era...
Yeah, dude. On what surface? I wish the Chargers would have 7. Man, let Herbert throw for 7 touchdowns in the game. Boy, I'm talking for 2 months.
Where offenses are passing more than ever, and quarterbacks are throwing for 5...
Hey! There we go! It only took 12 seconds. Herbert already has the same amount of 5,000-yard seasons as Dan Marino, Stafford, Peyton, Big Ben, and Jameis. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
1,000-yard seasons like it's a hobby. You'd think this record would fall once a season, but it hasn't. It's been tied 8 times. Legends like Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Joe Cap, if you know, you know, have all done it.
Joe Cap.
Even Nick Foles did it, but no one has ever hit 8. Why? Because coaches ease off the gas. Teams play conservative when they're up big. You throw 5 touchdowns and people start tweeting GOAT emojis. You throw 6, and the backup is already warming up. Defenses today are built to adapt. So yeah.
Yo, Jameis was in there. That's crazy.
Someone might tie this again, but break it? Probably never. Most rushing yards in a single game.
We can't just go one day without the Chargers getting hated on, bro.
296, Adrian Peterson.
Just don't show no videos.
Let's paint the scene.
No.
It's 2007.
Before the video starts, I just wanna say something. You wanna know what's more embarrassing than these highlights? The fact the Chargers lost to the Browns in 2016. Them niggas lost 19 straight games after that. You got Herbert in the Phil Rivers cycle. Them niggas lost to Gary Barnidge, a washed RG3 and Isaiah Crowell. The Chargers suck. And Herbert will never win anything. Fuck you niggas.
Herbert will win a playoff game before the Browns will, moving forward.
Rookie Adrian Peterson walks into a game against the Chargers and absolutely loses his mind.
Just no videos.
296 yards.
Jesus.
No overtime, no tricks, just raw speed, vision, and violent, angry running. He didn't run like he was playing football. He ran like the ball owed him money, and the Chargers had no answers. What makes this record unbreakable isn't just the number, it's how the position has changed. Running backs today don't get enough touches. They split carries. They're used in the pass game. If someone runs for 150 yards now, they're practically getting a game ball and a post on the team Instagram. To break Peterson's record, a back would need 30-plus carries, a defense made of cardboard, and an offensive coordinator who refuses to throw the ball no matter what.
Just go up against the Falcons defense. Like literally Chargers versus Falcons next year. Marion Hampton going for 300.
And that just doesn't exist anymore. Unless we go back in time, or Adrian Peterson comes out of retirement for one last game. Most receiving yards in a single game. 300.
Okay, now 336 is insane.
136, Flipper Anderson.
336 receiving yards is pretty crazy. I said going forward.
First of all, yes, that's a real person. And yes, he really dropped 336 yards in a single game back in 1989. No TikTok, no Instagram, just vibes and deep roots. Flipper Anderson was a decent receiver with Olympic speed, but on that day, he was unstoppable. He averaged over 30 yards per catch. Damn. His quarterback couldn't miss, and the Saints' secondary might as well have been ghosts. Even with overtime helping boost the numbers, it was still a perfect storm. And here's the thing, even modern legends.
What do you mean Keenan could never touch 250 multiple times? Bro, didn't he have a 300-yard game? He had 300 yards receiving against the Panthers.
Haven't touched it. Calvin Johnson got close. So did Julio Jones. But the way NFL defenses adjust today, no receiver is getting that many deep shots without getting double-teamed, jammed, or
How many did Jamar have when he went crazy?
just straight up ignored by their quarterback. This wasn't just a stat line, it was lightning in a bottle, and we probably won't see it again unless someone completely glitches the simulation. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you
subscribe. Subscribe.
And dropped a like for the algorithm. Most sacks in a single game, 7. Derek Thomas.
Aiden had 5,
Derek
though.
Thomas was a menace. In 1990, he lined up against the Seattle Seahawks and decided that 7 times in one game, he would sack the quarterback. And not just little pushovers either.
Khalil Mack got 5 too.
Violent, game-changing sacks. He basically built a real estate portfolio inside the Seahawks backfield. 7 sacks in one game. That's not just dominance, that's disrespect. You'd have to be in another dimension of pass rushing to replicate that today. The modern game doesn't even allow for it.
Myles Garrett looked like he in centers.
Quarterbacks get the ball out faster. Offensive linemen train like MMA fighters. Holding calls are rare. The window to make contact is smaller, and if you breathe on the QB wrong, it's 15 yards and a personal apology. Most interceptions thrown
I didn't even include him, he was there.
In a game. 8. Jim Hardy. This record exists because the NFL used to be lawless. Back in 1950, Jim Hardy threw 8 interceptions in a single game, and he played the whole thing. That's not a bad day. That's a full collapse. Today, a quarterback throws 3 picks and the backup is doing stretches. 4 picks, you're trending on Twitter. 5, you're doing interviews about how you're learning from it. But 8, in modern football, that
How many did Nathan Peterman have?
literally cannot happen. Not because QBs are better, but because coaches, fans, and even teammates won't let it.
Didn't he have 5.5?
This record isn't unbreakable because it's hard to do. It's unbreakable because no coach would ever allow it to get that far. Jim Hardy was a different breed of problem. Most rushing yards in a season, 2,105. Eric Dickerson.
Saquon should have had this.
Eric Dickerson ran like he was trying to catch a flight. And in 1984, he didn't just lead the league in rushing, he lapped it. 2,105 yards in 16 games. With a single bar helmet that looked like it belonged in a museum. What makes this record wild is that it came in an era where teams ran the ball because they had to, not because it was trendy. Dickerson was the offense. 30 carries a game. No load management, no 3-back committees. In today's NFL, no running back is getting enough touches to flirt with this number. They'll be split with a receiving back, or rested in blowouts, or rotated out to preserve their knees for the playoffs, or their next team. Derrick Henry came close, but even King Henry ran out of gas. Unless the NFL turns into a Navy offense overnight, Dickerson's record is staying right where it is, on the shelf, untouched, and still wearing goggles. Most receiving yards in a
Saquon should have had it.
Season, 1,964. Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson wasn't just a
This is a breakable record.
receiver, he was a glitch in real life. In 2012, Megatron posted 1,964 yards in a single season. And no, this wasn't in 17 games. It was in 16. With Matthew Stafford force-feeding him the ball like it was Thanksgiving dinner, he was double-teamed, triple-teamed, bracketed, and it didn't matter. He still came down with jump balls like he was playing with magnets. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Tyreek Hill have all made solid runs at this, but no one's broken it. Why? Because defenses adjust, game plans shift. Teams start calling 3-yard screens in the fourth quarter instead of taking deep shots to pad stats. Calvin had the rare combo of volume, talent, and a team bad enough to keep throwing every down. If this record ever breaks, it'll take another once-in-a-generation receiver on a team willing to abuse the stat sheet. Until then, it's Megatron's world. Most receiving touchdowns in a season, 23, Randy Moss.
Is it weird that I think this is actually beatable?
Let's set the stage. It's 2007. Tom Brady is on a mission. Randy Moss is back from Oakland football exile and mad at the world.
Like, we're moving to a passing offense. Like, this is just pass. So it's not even LT's rushing record can be beaten. Didn't fucking Jalen Hurts have like 16 rushing touchdowns one season?
Patriots are angry, surgical, and out for blood. The result? 23 touchdowns in one season by one receiver. That's not a stat. That's a nightmare for
I think it can be.
defensive coordinators. Since then, not a single player has come within 3 touchdowns of this record. Not even close. And here's the real reason it'll probably never be broken. Today's offenses are balanced. WR1s get attention, but WR2s and tight ends eat too. Teams spread the ball. Coaches don't need to force one guy the ball in the red zone anymore. In 2007,
why they use a Julio Jones picture like that nigga was a red zone threat or something like that? That nigga never had 10 touchdowns in a season, I believe. Let me don't fact check it though. What's the most touchdowns he had in a season?
Randy Moss was the red zone. To break this, someone would need 1. A Hall of Fame QB, 2. An MVP season, and 3. A team that doesn't care about being nice, that's rare air. And Randy's still floating above it. Most sacks in a season, 22.5. Michael Strahan did it first. TJ Watt tied it. But neither hit 23. And that's what makes this record brutal. Because sacks are hard. You need opportunity, skill, consistency, and just enough luck to avoid getting held on every play. Strahan's record is legendary and controversial. People swear Brett Favre took a dive to give him the final sack. Watt did it legit, but in a 17-game season. So the debate rages on, but either way, the number still stands. 22.5. And that's with guys like Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Myles Garrett, all elite rushers who've never cracked it. Quarterbacks get the ball out faster now. Schemes are built to neutralize pressure. Even when you beat your man, you've got half a second to actually get to the QB before he throws it into the dirt.
I know he won.
22.5 is the mountaintop, and it's lonely up there. Most interceptions in a season, 14.
14 is crazy. I'm going to be honest, 14 is crazy. That's crazy. 14 is crazy. Like, I think once he got like to 8, 9, niggas stop throwing the ball his way. I don't think 14 is ever going to be broken. Like, you got to be on some... It has to be a safety. I don't think it's a cornerback that ever do it. I think a safety has to do it. But even then, because then Xavier McKinney started off with a pick every game for like the first 7 games of the season. After that, he only got like 2. Because they stopped throwing that shit like, nah.
Night Train Lane. This record is so old, the NFL still had teams called the Yanks when it was set.
Damn.
Night Train Lane picked off 14 passes in one season as a rookie. He did this in an era where quarterbacks threw like they were playing darts blindfolded and receivers didn't wear gloves. The ball was barely spiraling. Defenses weren't even pretending to disguise coverages. So why will no one ever match it now? Because quarterbacks don't throw picks like that anymore. Elite corners don't get targeted. And when they do, it's once or twice a game. You'd have to be a shutdown corner and a ball hawk and play on a defense that forces a ton of throws. The closest modern example, Trevon Diggs with 11 in 2021, and he was getting torched on every other snap. You can't play risky enough to get 14 today and still keep your job. Night Train's record belongs to a different world. Most career receiving yards, 22,800.
This nigga wore Stickum. Take away half of them yards.
195, Jerry Rice. Let's just say it. This one's never being touched. Jerry Rice didn't just break the record, he sent it into orbit. 22,895 receiving yards. That's over 13 miles of catching footballs. To put that in perspective, if a current receiver had 1,500 yards every year for 15 straight seasons, they'd still fall short. No one has that combination of talent, health, and insane work ethic anymore. Rice played for 20 years. At age 40, he had 800 plus yards. At age 41, he was still running routes crisper than half the league. This isn't just a football record. It's a test of time, genetics, and obsession. Megatron retired early. Julio got hurt. Hopkins fell off.
What?
But Rice, he just kept going and going and going. You don't catch Jerry Rice. You admire him from 10,000 yards behind. Most consecutive games with a reception. 274, also Jerry Rice. This record is the football version of never missed a day. 274 straight games with a catch. That's 17 full seasons without a single off day, injury gap, or goose egg. It's not just about skill. It's about durability, consistency, and never being irrelevant in a game plan. Even when he was the WR3, even when the team was stacked, even in garbage time, Rice got his. In today's NFL, players rest more. They sit out more. Offensive schemes rotate more. There's always a game where the top WR gets blanketed, or they're decoyed, or they miss a week with a sore hamstring. But Jerry? He never had those days. He was always open. To break this, you'd need a receiver who never misses a snap, never gets shut out, and plays until they're 40. In other words, you'd need Jerry Rice again. Most career passing yards, 89,214.
Yeah, that's not getting touched. Well, if Mahomes plays for like 10 more years, God willing he doesn't. Jesus. Hopefully he doesn't. He could probably break it if he played for 10 years.
Tom Brady. Brady didn't just beat the passing record. He moonwalked over it with avocado toast in one hand and 7 rings in the other. He passed Breeze, then passed Peyton, then passed Logic. 89,214 yards is video game stuff. He played for 23 seasons. He took a whole Hall of Fame career and added another one on top of it. To break this, a quarterback would have to start at 22, never miss a season, average 4,500 yards every year, and somehow still be elite at 44. No one's doing that. Not Mahomes, not Burrow, not Josh Allen. Brady's passing yards record is the NFL's Mount Everest, and the oxygen's thin up there. Mahomes. Most career wins as a QB, 251.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to beat.
Also Brady. This isn't just a good stat, it's sickening. 251 wins. That means double-digit wins for 25 straight years, and he only played for 23. This is where Brady separates himself from everyone else. He wasn't just great.
Hold on. If your QB ain't on here, I don't want to hear shit. If your QB ain't on here, you can't talk to me. I'm sorry, you can't talk to me.
This is where Brady separates himself from everyone else. He wasn't just great, he was great forever. Think about how hard it is to win 10 games in one season. Now imagine doing that every year without fail, while half the league crumbles around you. Every quarterback has slumps, down years, coaching drama. Brady had all of that, and still won. To beat this, a quarterback would need 20 plus years of health, dominance, and help. And even then, they'd probably still fall short. Most career sacks, 200, Bruce Smith. This is a record that even the best edge rushers today might only reach if they clone themselves. Bruce Smith was a technician, a machine. He played for 19 years and never slowed down. The closest active player is Von Miller, and he's still 40 sacks away. Damn. That's how far away this record is. You'd need double-digit sacks per year, no missed seasons, no injury dips, no slow exits. And even then, it'd be close. Bruce Smith didn't just pass Reggie White. He passed the blueprint. Now, it's just him. Alone at the top of Sack Mountain. Most kickoff return touchdowns in a career.
This can be broken.
10. Josh Cribbs and Leon Washington. Kick returns used to be electric.
This can be broken.
You'd see someone catch the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone, sprint full speed into 11 human wrecking balls,
not anymore?
And somehow score. Guys like Josh Cribbs and Devin Hester made it art. But now, kickoff returns are basically gone. With the new kickoff rules, touchbacks and...
They're not gone. It's just, honestly, it's not smart to return. But with the new rules, I think they if you fair catch it, the ball goes to the 20 now instead of the 25. So you have more reason to return it.
Encouraged, wedge blocks banned, and returns designed to be rare. Nobody's getting enough chances. You can be the fastest man alive, but if the ball's sailing out the back of the end zone every time, it doesn't matter. This record didn't just age, it got retired by the league. You can tie it, but breaking it? Only if the NFL starts kickoffs from the 10-yard line again, which won't happen. Most fair catches in a game, 7 multiple players. This one's hilarious because it only exists due to sheer absurdity. You have to imagine a punter having the game of his life, just bombing balls into the sky while the returner stands there like, "Yup, fair catch, again." 7 times. Today, that number is nearly unbreakable because teams don't punt that much anymore. And when they do, most returners let it bounce. To tie this record, your offense would need to be trash. Your punter would need to be elite. And the other team's gunners would have to be coming in like heat-seeking missiles.
Like, eventually she has to make a good meal, and I want to be there to see it. Never mind, it's going to include sour cream. She'll never make a good meal. Don't worry about it.
To break it,
Never mind.
You'd need a time machine, a coach.
Wait, what was it?
Heat-seeking missiles. To break it, you'd need a time machine, a coaching staff with no fourth down confidence, and a punt returner with nerves of steel. Most touches in a season, 492, James Wilder.
Good God, they tried to kill this nigga.
James Wilder is the forgotten workhorse. In 1984, the Bucks gave him the ball 492 times.
Damn.
That's carries and receptions. Today, no team would let this happen. The medical staff would file a lawsuit. To match that now, a running back would need 29 touches per game for 17 games with no injuries.
Damn.
All while still being productive enough to stay on the field. It's not happening. In the modern NFL, running backs are treated like rental cars. Use them just enough, then move on. No one's getting near 500 touches again. That's not just unbreakable. It's borderline unethical. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here.